Well, Andy, as a group of linebackers, what was the goal going in the spring, and how have the guys lived up to that goal?
Going into the spring, our goal was, one, to improve on our change of direction and our burst, and also going along with that is our keys and our get off. We got a lot of guys with the experience, so you're trying to find those little details where we could get better, get ourselves in better position to make more plays, whether it be the run game or the pass game. And to be honest with you, I think they've done a great job with that this spring, paying attention to those fine details. You get veterans that have played a lot of football, you can't let them get comfortable. You got to keep finding the little areas where they continue to improve and develop.
Obviously, one of those guys, Tanner, you got him back at middle linebacker. Nice to see him back in there.
Yeah, I mean, when you got Tanner in the middle of the field, he makes a lot of plays. He makes a lot of plays, period. But when he's, not the field side, outside linebacker, and he's in the middle of the defense, he does a great job of not only, being a productive football player, but communicating, getting guys lined up, getting front sets, handling coverages. So, there at Mike linebacker, we're pretty fortunate because Joey's right there with him, and he's done a great job. Obviously, his second year in the system, communicating, and doing all those things as well.
Talking to Ben, he said not being out here last spring really set him back, and he felt like it took him a good chunk of the season to catch up to everybody, and then he finished really strong. Been nice to get him out there and kind of build on that momentum this spring.
Right, there's no doubt. The unique thing about Ben is that so he basically didn't have an off season last year because of an injury and a surgery and stuff. He did nothing because of that. So really, in terms of development for a young linebacker, he lost an offseason, and so it was a big emphasis for him individually to continue to develop in the weight room with Pitt, training, getting literally his feet back underneath himself, and he's done a great job with that this spring. He's moving a lot better, and obviously it's a credit to him to be able to jump in and do what he did last year, all of football season, which you could see him start to come around in the middle of October. Really getting in shape, and so to have the type of off season he's had this year in spring ball, we're expecting big things from him next year.
When you bring Tanner and Ben and Joey and Tyler back, you got to kind of push those younger guys that, hey, make sure they know that there might be a chance at some point you're going to need those guys. Yeah,
there's no question, and obviously you got different roles for everybody, and they all deserve it because they all work tremendously hard. Even those guys, you never know when your shot's going to come. Things happen. This is football. It's a physical game. And so you got to be ready to roll when you get your opportunity to step in there and really be able to go out there and have fun. When you get your opportunity, you want to feel comfortable with what you're doing. You want to be able to jump in there and go play with your teammates because we all know they probably, they've been waiting for that.
Any of those younger guys that have stepped up this spring?
You know what, moving Darren Lee, he's not a younger guy, but moving Darren Lee from playing outside linebacker back into the box, this spring, I think he's done a great job with that. I think he feels more comfortable in the box. And obviously he is our special teams guy. I mean, he is one of probably our biggest special teams players. So his leadership he has there, and then obviously the depth that he provides us at linebacker as well, and he could really play either side there. He's done a great job. And then our baby giraffe, Leighton Vander Esch. I mean, you see this guy running around out there. I know you've been out there at practice. You've seen him move. The kid's awesome. He's learning. He's picking things up. Coming from 8-man football, to 11-man football is a little bit of adjustment on top of everything, but he's done a great job this spring as well.
Speaking of kind of picking it up, it seemed like John Martorano, as the season went on last year, started to earn more playing time, and he was playing, significant snaps there down the stretch. What's kind of the next step that you want to see him take?
And we talked about that, coming into spring ball. That was our goal for Joey, is to get more comfortable running the show, so to speak, to be that quarterback on defense, to set the fronts, be able to handle coverages, and not feel rushed, to be able to get lined up and do his deal and make plays. And he's done a great job with that this spring as well. I mean, if you guys will see him out there tomorrow night during the scrimmage, and you're going to see him communicating not only verbally but with his hands and getting guys lined up and doing all that stuff. It'll be visible if you pay attention to him. So we're excited about that because at his position, that's expected of it. Now, on top of that, once again, Joe's still a young guy, and his development, the things he's done with Pitt, and the strength and conditioning staff, you're going to see that on the field too. I mean, he's moving around great right now.
You talked to Joe about baseball at all yet this year, or is he committed to Boise State football?
He's committed to Boise State football now. I know that. So, but we'll have to wait and see, with the baseball. situation, and honestly, it's what's best for him. I mean, that's a pretty unique and awesome opportunity. I think it's pretty cool. The whole program here thinks it's cool too that he gets to go and do that. So if he chooses to do that again this summer, then obviously we'll be rooting for him.
Went through these guys that kind of missed Tyler Gray. So what's he done this spring, and he's coming into his senior year this year.
Right. And Tyler Gray really took off last year and had a good season, and I think he's even improved on that this spring. I mean, he's a long, athletic guy that has so much range, especially in the passing game. He's a great blitzer. And the area that I think he's really picking it up too is in the run game. Getting comfortable once again with his keys and his different fits and the different defenses that we play. And so we're pretty excited. We had a great amount of production out of that boundary side will linebacker position last year. And I'm excited to see these two guys do it again this year.
What kind of luxury is it to have? I mean, that's 5 linebackers who probably could start a lot of places.
Right.
What kind of luxury is that for you as a coach?
Yeah, there's no question. In all honesty, I mean, this is on top of them just being great football players. They're great guys. I mean, this is. I hate to say it because of the past groups that I've coached before, but this might be the best group that I've ever gotten to coach in terms of people. And then we're not even talking about school. I mean, they do well in school too. I mean, we had a 3.4 and a 3.2 grade point average on top of that, so they compete with each other. I mean, when you talk about it, these are a bunch of go-getters, good personalities, fun guys to be around, and then obviously we're just continuing to try to get better on the field.